There's also an incredible psychology around hair. In fact, most people who experience even marginal hair loss undergo pretty severe anxiety. Now, I confess this is not something I can relate to. I am losing my hair in certain places. I'm 47 years old. I've got a couple of patches up front where there's very minimal hair. I think that, as we'll later learn in this episode, reflects a higher density of DHT, dihydrotestosterone receptors at that particular location as opposed to elsewhere on my scalp. But keeping my hair is not something that I've fretted about much of my life. And yet, as I was researching this episode, I remembered an anecdote from my childhood where my father told me, and I think it was because I was stressing about something, and I was trying to get to sleep. And he said, don't stress, calm down. And here's why. If you stress too much, it can actually make your hair fall out. In fact, I have a cousin who lay down one night stressed and woke up the next morning and all of his hair was on his pillow. And I'll never forget that story. I think he was trying to get me to stress less. I don't know if that story made me stress less or not. But in any event, I don't know that that story is true. I'm not going to challenge the authenticity of that story. I didn't have a chance to reach out to my father and ask him to verify or not. But as we'll soon learn, it is true that our psychological well-being can impact both the coloration or lack thereof and the growth rates of our hair. That's a real thing. And the reverse is also true, which is that as hair starts to thin, fall out, or change color, many people experience intense anxiety or even depression. This was not something I was really aware of. And perhaps that's just because I've always kept my hair pretty short anyway. I always assumed that if my hair started to really fall out, I would just shave my head. But that's me, and that's not most people out there. I think most people would loathe to lose their hair. And in fact, given the enormous number, probably up in the high billions of dollars and euros and other currency, of course, that people invest in trying to halt or reverse their hair loss,